All right, we will continue our media availability here this afternoon with Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports and the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Chase, you're leading the Nationwide Series point standings by 20 points, and you're coming off a top 5 finish. Does that give you some momentum going into this weekend here at the Monster Mile?
I certainly hope so. This is such a different place than the majority of the tracks we go to. It definitely makes it unique. So I feel like we had I think the biggest thing you can look back on as far as having any momentum or not would be how you ran here in the first race, and we were decent at times, and I thought throughout practice I thought we were better than what we were in the race last time. So I feel like I learned kind of a lesson there, and I hope that applies this weekend again, and hopefully that'll apply for the better when we get racing.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. If you could please state your name and affiliation.
Hi, Chase. I'm Randy Kovitz with the Kansas City Star. Kind of looking ahead to next week a little bit. You've been too young to race at Kansas before, right? So this will be your first race there. So what is the challenge when you go into places for the first time?
Yeah, just try to make the most of practice, and you get limited practice in the Nationwide Series, so you want to try to make the most of the time you do have. So try to be, one of the first guys out, and just use all the time they give you, I think, is the best thing you can do to help yourself.
Just the season itself, has this gone better than even you anticipated? You're winning some of these nationwide races against Cup guys. It's not like you're just winning the races when they're not there. Yeah,
it's certainly been a good year at times, and obviously some weekends have been better than others. So we'd like to fix some of those weekends that haven't been so good and try to make them a little better. So I can think back to a lot of races where things haven't gone very well for us, but we have been fortunate enough to get to victory lane a couple times, and hopefully we can try to get back there before the season's over with.
All right, we'll go back here to Bob and then over to Jay.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. I know this might be early, but with the ban on testing, how would that impact potential number of Cup races you do next year, and does it concern you if that ban continues as far as you're trying to preparation once you do get into Cup?
Yeah, well, like you said, I don't think there's still no guarantee that I'm going to run any races next year, and that's just the truth. So, if we do, I'm not sure, but the no testing deal, it's the same for everybody. So, obviously those guys have all the experience they need at this point, but I think the best experience you can get is running races personally. So, if that opportunity does come along, I think it'd be a phenomenal one for sure. But I think you're going to learn the most racing and spending your time running laps throughout a long race like they have. So, like I said, that's very, very way too soon to be talking about. There's like I said, no guarantee we're going to be running any next year anyway. So a lot of racing left this season.
Jay Pennell of Fox Sports. I know we're getting towards the end of the season. Have you allowed yourself to think about what it would mean to win a championship in the Nationwide Series in your first year, and what have you, if anything, talked to and gleaned off of Dale Jr. as somebody who's kind of been in your situation before, heading into this championship battle? Yeah,
it's been certainly. I've been trying to enjoy it too, I think, at the same time, but you gotta be ready and stay focused throughout, and realize anything can happen, and it's certainly not over till it's over, and don't ever want to get ahead of yourself, I think is the biggest thing. And I try to lean back on those guys a little bit and talk to them and whatnot, but everybody's different. I think everybody's different, especially when you get into situations, when you're trying to battle for something. I think everybody looks at things differently. So it's good to ask questions, but I think in a lot of ways, you got to figure out your own way to cope with things and to work through your, that stress that's on the team and everything throughout that. So I just try to keep it as simple as possible and keep it as stress-free as you can, and take it a week at a time. And I put a lot of emphasis on that, and that's just the truth. So try to take it a week at a time and just try to compete for wins, I think, is the best way to go about it. And hopefully we're still in the hunt when it counts, and we can battle to the end.
Next with Mike.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. Chase, you have every reason to like the points format like it is, but can you see a situation where a chase-type system might work in Nationwide?
I I mean, I feel like it would be similar to how it is on the Cup side now. I mean, I think, you know, that regardless of how the point system is, you still get the most points for winning races, and obviously the Cup side is maximized even a little bit more. But even for the nationwide side, you still the best way to gain points or to have a good weekend is to win the race. So your goals really don't change. You know, the points formats can change all they want, but the guys who win races and run well each week consistently are going to be rewarded for it, and that's not going to change no matter how they do it.
Any additional questions?
Any big surprise out of this season? I mean, just anything that pleasantly surprised or just shockingly surprised?
Yeah, absolutely. This season's been, you know, obviously came along, and the opportunity came along late for us, and it's been a lot of fun just to be able to be here and be able to compete at this level. So, you know, that was a surprise in itself whenever I found out that this was all going to come together for this season to go race, and you know, certainly to get a couple wins was has been great, and you know, certainly was a little bit of a surprise. I felt like, you know, I said this going into the season, I thought that, you know, I didn't have to worry about our team and our guys and the cars that they were going to bring. I really felt like that stuff was fine, and I thought that they were going to bring cars that were capable of winning. I really just think it's up to me to do my part, and you know, I still feel like even today, I think as long as I can do my job on my end, I think we'll have just as good a shot as anybody each week. So that's definitely been a little bit of a surprise to get a couple wins so early, but we'd like to have some now and moving forward.
Any final questions? All right, Chase, thanks for joining us,
guys.
and good luck.